Hello and welcome to the Completely Useless Games channel. And today we're playing Truth, an FMV game.
Welcome to Truth, the game show where we award a $1 million prize to the contestant chosen by our audience. We have 6 challengers hooked up to lie detectors, which I'll be monitoring. In every round, we ask each of them 5 questions chosen by our audience. Then we vote one off based on their answers. Let's meet our contestants. Why don't you each tell me a little about yourself?
Elf.
I'm Joe.
He's lying.
28, and I'm from Philly. Let's go Eagles.
Okay.
My name is Alexis, and I'm born and raised in Beverly Hills.
My name is Sam. Hello. And I recently moved out here to Hollywood to get in the film industry. And I've been writing a long time before I even got to town. And I've got a lot of scripts. I'm willing to show them. Hit me up. And I'm very excited to be on the show.
Look at the shitty lie detector phone card.
I'm a California native, and I grew up right here in Los Angeles.
Hi, I'm Claire. I've never been on TV before. I'm so excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
I go by
Okay,
Lily,
no.
and I'm from Van Nuys, California.
Let's see what the audience wants to ask first.
Alright, what's this? Oh, there's plenty of questions. Oh, they've got different music for different people. So you got the rock and roll. She's got the Homer Simpson working at a nuclear power station kind of music. He's dreaming of Broadway music. She's got smoking weed in the autumn leaves music. She's got where the fuck did my husband go music. Oh fucking hell. And she's got Addams Family music. Right. Who should we ask first? And what question should we ask them? What is your biggest fear, should probably say church.
What is your biggest fear?
Having to get one of those normal peasant jobs. One where there's a
Right, she's not getting the money.
and a clock to punch. I tried it when I was younger, and it still gives me nightmares. Not the fun kind.
Who has fun nightmares? Aww, poor love. Let's ask her a question. What should we ask her? Ask the trolley problem. What's the trolley problem? Let's find out what that
You're the
is.
conductor. On a runaway trolley, there are 5 people on the tracks ahead of you who cannot get off the tracks in time. If you continue forward, you will run over and kill all 5 of them. You cannot stop the trolley, but you can change to an alternate track which only has 1 person on it. If you decide to change tracks, all 5 people on the first track will live, but the person on the alternate track
I'm already lost.
and die. Do you change tracks?
Before answering that, what you have to understand is that being run over by a
Oh, she's
trolley
Scottish.
doesn't have to be fatal. I've survived it at least twice now, and after
Should have
an
guessed by the
extended
hair.
hospital stay, I was completely fine. You just have to avoid being crushed by the wheels when you're underneath. So, in answer to your question, your morality question, of course you switch to where the one person is because there's just not room under there for a crowd.
I don't even know if that was a good answer or not. Oh. Let's ask smoking weed in the autumn leaves lady. What's the favourite holiday?
What is your favorite holiday?
Arbor Day. I like that there's a holiday that's for trees and not humans. I always try to spend that day hanging out in the woods, away from people.
What's your most embarrassing guilty? Hang on. We can't ask him that. What's your most... All these are going to be acting jobs.
What's the most serious law you've ever broken?
The fourth wall.
I would say the most serious law I've ever broken is sneaking into a movie.
Oh, fucking hell. Is that it?
So, in 2015, Star Wars The Force Awakens was coming out, and there was an advanced sneak preview screening beforehand. And it was invite only. So I figured out a way around that since I wasn't invited, but I did want to see it. I'm not going to tell you what theater it was or what theater chain because I do not want to get a phone call from their attorneys. But the night before this advanced screening, I went to a movie at that theater, and then I stayed in the theater all night long. I hid in the bathroom, slept there, and then the next day, I was in the theater for the screening. And there were a couple of seats open. It wasn't completely
That's not weird.
full. So I got into the sneak preview. I saw The Force Awakens early. I'm not proud of it. It's probably a big felony, but I would do it again.
Okay. Have we asked her a question? We haven't, have we? Let's ask her what she'd do with the money.
What would you do with the money?
Oh, I have a financial advisor that handles my money for me. My parents use them. They're really good.
Let's ask Mr. Rock and Roll a question. So let's describe a typical day in your life.
Describe a typical day in your life.
I wake up, I eat, I go to work, I come home, I eat, I watch TV, and then I go to bed.
Exhilarating.
What do you do for a living?
I work at a distribution center where I drive a forklift. Pays pretty decent, and I get good overtime.
Oh, let's ask Mrs. Sad a question. What was your childhood dream?
What was your childhood dream?
Oh, I totally remember my childhood dream.
Oh, tell
It's
us.
magical. I mean, we didn't have any money to afford a TV set, but my neighbours did, and we could see it. If you just, peered out the window a certain way, we could see across into their living room, and they would always watch game shows. And all I wanted was to be a winner on one of those game shows, and just, oh my goodness, that was it for me.
Oh, I think we've only got one question left. That's Wednesday something. She gave us a bit of an arsey answer to a question before, so...
What is your most controversial or unpopular opinion?
I believe that we should bring back public execution.
Oof.
We're already executing people in 27 states. Why not sell tickets? I know some people really hate the death penalty, but they should love this idea. Executing these prisoners in private only helps the masses not to think about it. Making it public will bring attention to it. And it gives the rest of us something to do.
Spooky bitch. Oh, right, so the pie is for how many... Right. So she's got one more question, he's got two. She's got, what, two? But I don't understand, why have they got lie detectors on? Why are we finding out who's lying for £1 million? I don't get it.
Describe a typical day in your life.
I wake up, I eat breakfast, I feed my familiars, I go to work. When I get home, I like to relax and work on my bug collection.
Of course you do. Alright, so it's the other way around. So I've got two questions left. If you found a wallet,
You found a wallet.
would you return it?
Would you return it?
I found a wallet once. I looked up the owner on social media. Turned out to be some racist, sexist loser who was inexplicably married. I kept the cash, and I went to return the wallet to his home when I knew he would be at work. I told his wife that he left it behind during a one-night stand.
Fucking bitch. Right, she's not getting the fucking money, I'm telling you now. Unbelievable.
What is the dumbest thing you ever did?
Admitting to that because she's not getting the fucking money now.
This rich couple used to pay me to sit for their dog. And one day he died on my watch. So I buried him in the backyard, replaced him with a look-alike from the local pet shop. The couple comes home. The new dog won't stop barking, yapping, nipping. I said he was acting normal during my watch. I got paid and I left. Anyway, he ends up biting one of them. So they put him outside, where he digs up the original, who turns out wasn't as dead as I thought. So they decided they needed to call me, text me dozens of times, asking me why I would bury their dog alive and try and replace him with an evil clone. I figured there was no way explaining my way out of that one, so I didn't reply.
What is
That's
your
sad.
most controversial or unpopular opinion?
Most people think you need milk to eat cereal. I completely disagree. It's so extortionate. The prices of milk nowadays. I mean, no way. I just use water and it's
Yeah.
delicious.
Is it
I
fuck?
love my cereal with water when I can find cereal.
Going overboard with the Scottishness, aren't they? It's too tight to buy milk. What's your proudest accomplishment? It'll be some buy one get one free offer.
What is your proudest accomplishment?
I was a world record holder. I was the last known person to contract smallpox
Wow.
for a week. Somebody else did get it after me. I don't know their name. I mean, I don't really remember the week because I did have a terrible fever and a really itchy rash, but they say everyone gets their 15 minutes of fame, and that was mine.
Surprised she gave the smallpox up. Didn't want to keep them.
If you could have any job, what would it be?
Any job in the whole world, I would choose to be a wealthy banker because they get paid a fortune and their hours don't seem bad at all. I mean, maybe when the line gets really long up to their till, that might get stressful managing that, but apart from that, I mean, what's the downside?
I think we've used them all up. Ugh. We've got quite a few questions for smoking weed in the autumn leaves lady. Let's ask her what she does for a living.
What do you do for a living?
I escaped the rat race a few years ago. I cut
Smart.
all my expenses drastically, so now I only need a few $100 a month to survive. I deliver food through those gig apps, but only 2 or 3 orders per day.
Deliveroo.
Just enough to get by. I find if I make more money than I need, I just end up buying stuff that clutters my life and makes me less happy.
I'm not sure she wants the money. What advice would you give your younger self?
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Drop out of school. A high school diploma is useless as an adult, and college is a waste of money. Just enjoy your childhood. You only get one.
So we've asked her them questions. Can we ask? Let's ask her the wallet question.
If you found a wallet, would you return it?
I would return it,
Good
but
girl.
I wouldn't be doing the owner a favor by doing so. People are obsessed with money and credit cards. They think money will buy them the freedom to enjoy life. Really, the quest to acquire wealth just makes you a slave to your employer. Still, it's their wallet, so of course I'd return it.
What is your most controversial or unpopular opinion?
Owning pets is wrong and should be illegal.
What? I've got 2
If your
cats.
dog or cat isn't free to come and go as they please,
They
they're not your
they
pet,
can come and
they're your
go.
prisoner.
They can come and go. What would you do with the money? Oh. Right. What would you do with the money?
What would you do with the money?
Well, I've been working on a film for several years.
Of course you have.
My main baby when it comes to screenwriting, but I haven't had the capital to produce it. It's a superhero film, but get this. In most superhero movies, someone gets powers. They either become the good guy or the bad guy. What if they just still remain a guy and they don't use the powers? Maybe they're like, they try them out.
Sounds like a flop to me.
But then they're like, you know what? I'm just going to stick to my regular life. And it's a superhero film that turns into just a slice of life normal guy film because he doesn't use them. And then at the end, when you think he's like, oh, he's about to save the day, the powers get reversed and he loses them.
What a twist.
What is your most controversial or unpopular opinion?
Well, my most controversial / unpopular opinion, a lot of people say that it's pretty bogus that Superman
Breaking out the
just puts
superheroes
on
again.
glasses and he becomes Clark Kent and no one knows who he is. No one can recognize him. I actually think that checks out. See, I've thought about this a lot. Now, if there's this hero and then you see someone who's kind of your normal neighbor, you wouldn't associate that. Like, your mind wouldn't go there. So, like, here's an example. Let's say you have a neighbor who looks exactly like Barack Obama.
I do.
But his hair's a little different, and he wears glasses, and he's got a normal job. Let's say he works at a gas station, and you wouldn't say, my neighbor, James, who works at the gas station, has glasses, is ex-president of the United States, Barack Obama. You'd say, oh, that guy kind of looks like Barack Obama, but it's not Barack Obama. Same thing. You wouldn't say, oh, Clark, who, like, is a cub reporter for the Daily Planet, he can't be Superman. He's a bumbling goof. He slightly looks like Superman. Remember, Clark is like uncoordinated. Clark is like, you know, bad at life. Superman is the best. So, like, you would not make that leap. I think it would totally work. Unpopular opinion, and I stand by it.
I'm convinced. I think this guy would return the wallet.
If you found a wallet, would you return it?
Okay. So if I found the wallet, the question of whether or not I'd return
Why is he
it
hesitating?
depends. Now, if it was a one percenter, a wealthy individual, and that wallet was filled with money, I might take the money and return the wallet anonymously. If it was seemingly like just a regular person, regular working stiff, then I think I'd just return the whole thing. But if it was a Gucci wallet with gold around the sides, black card, the whole nine, I might have to a little forth.
So that's the fail on that question.
If you could have any job, what would it be?
If I could have any job, I'd like to be the continuity supervisor on any Star Trek TV show. There are so many mistakes that would have been so easy to fix if only someone caught them in time. I'd love to be that someone.
You'd love to be that someone? Let me tell you why there's mistakes.
Oh,
When you're working 17 to 22 hours a day,
Hey-o.
sometimes people mess up on continuity, all right? Relax. Just relax.
he
I
obviously
just
used
wanna
to do
say I'm
that.
so sorry. Because in the moment when I was thinking about my dream job, I literally forgot that you were on Star Trek, and
Was he on Star
you
Trek? I don't
have
recognise him.
boldly gone where no man has gone before. So, thank you for your service, and
Mind you, I don't watch Star Trek.
I am sorry for.
But I
being
mean, I
so
recognise, what's it called? From the Howard Stern show. That's really where I know him from. I can't remember his name. So, I thought we'd asked her all the questions.
What is your proudest accomplishment?
My proudest accomplishment. I would probably say when I hit 1 million followers. That wasn't my only milestone, but that one definitely stuck with me.
So am I supposed to guess who's been the most honest person? Because they all seem like they're being upfront, so I don't get it.
If you could have any job, what would it be?
So he was on Star Trek, was
I
he?
want to design handbags and accessories. I've considered designing clothes, but I think accessories is my real passion.
If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Shape-shifting. If I could shape-shift, I wouldn't have to work out and watch what I eat every single day. And I can still have this figure.
I mean, she might be, your typical brained, dumb blonde, but at least she's being honest.
Have you ever cheated on anyone?
No, I would never do that. And I've proven it. I was asked out by Ryan Gosling, and I said no. I was dating a guy at the time. We weren't serious, but I don't cheat.
So that's everybody, isn't it? Oh, Mr. Rock and Roll.
What is the most serious law you've ever broken?
I used to shoplift as a kid. I also used to do a ton of underage drinking. I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know which one's worse, but whichever one's worse, I guess, would be my answer.
Probably the shoplifting. Have we asked him the wallet question? Let's ask him the wallet question. I think he'd return it.
If you found a
I think he's a
wallet,
good, hard,
would you
decent-looking guy.
I mean, if there was cash in the wallet, I'd keep that.
Oh, for fuck's sake, Mr. Rock and Roll!
Wallet. I've actually heard if you put a rubber band around the wallet and drop it in the mailbox, the post office will return it. I don't know if that's true, but yeah, that's what I do.
If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Immortality? I've heard nerds say, like, oh, that would be a curse or something like that, but I don't believe that. That's BS. If I could choose anything, yeah, I'd live forever, for sure.
That's the end of this round. We'll soon find out who will be going home after this message from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by Rebecca Cartwright. Have you been injured in an automobile accident or hurt on the job? Has your case already been settled and you've been awarded a large sum of money? Call Rebecca Cartwright, 555-1258. Rebecca is 25, single, and looking for a long-lasting relationship. Must love dogs. Now it's time for the audience to vote. Please enter the selection of the contestant you think should be going home.
Well, I think... Let's have a quick rundown. He kind of let me down on the wallet question. Doesn't seem to have too much ambition. Happy to go get up, go to work, come home, have his tea, go to bed, get up, go to work. I mean, these are his words. And he also wants to be immortal, so he can do that forever and ever and ever. He wouldn't return the cash. He couldn't even be asked to take the wallet back. He was just going to dump it at the post office. Blonde Alexis, like I say, a bit brained, but let's say a little vain. But is that really a crime? No, it's a sin. But is that really a crime? At least she's honest. Then we've got Sam, obsessed with superheroes and films. Nothing wrong with that. But another one who wouldn't return the cash. So, then we've got the lovely Autumn, who would return the cash, of course, begrudgingly, but that's because she just wants to see the collapse of the whole system. And then we've got Claire. I think she said she'd return the cash. I can't quite remember, but yeah, I think she would. And Lilith, she wouldn't return the cash. Oh, she did. Oh, she found a wallet. And, she said he was a racist. So she set him up for cheating and all the rest of it. You know, whatever your opinions, two wrongs don't make a right. So, Lilith, I'm afraid you're going home.
The votes are in. The audience has voted to send home Lilith. Please keep in mind that this was not my decision.
No, it's mine. I'll say something.
Okay, let's get started with round 2. Audience, choose your first question.
Okay.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Don't marry Annie, my ex-wife. God, I doubt my younger self would listen to me because she's still smoking hot, but yeah, that's the advice I'd give, you know. I mean, we were high school sweethearts, and I thought it was going to be great, but boy, was I wrong. Oh, she's a nightmare, and now I'm stuck paying alimony. Lucky me.
What is your biggest fear?
What is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is dying. I mean, duh, like, I don't want to die. Not in any particular way. You know, people are like, oh, I don't want to drown or get eaten by a lion. Like, I don't care how I go. I just don't want to be dead, you know?
What was your
What was
childhood
your
dream?
childhood dream?
I had a ton of dreams as a kid. What I wanted to do changed all the time, you know? I mean, wouldn't that be true for just about everyone? Who spends their whole childhood focused on one goal?
If you could have any job, what would it be?
Sports commentator. I'm pretty sure you can only do that if you're like an ex-athlete, but if I could somehow get that job, I'd love it.
If you were going to be stranded on an island with one person of your choosing, who would it be?
Well, my first thought's Margot Robbie, but she has kids, and I'm not
Who's
gonna separate
Margot
her
Robbie?
from her kids. So, Megan Fox.
Megan, is that,
Megan Fox has kids too.
Bummer.
is that the newsreader?
Does Dua Lipa have kids?
I don't think so.
Who's Dua Lipa?
Final answer.
I don't know any of these people. Alright, so
What do you do for a living?
I work at a distribution center where I drive a forklift. Pays pretty decent and
What?
good overtime.
so they used them all up for him. Hang on. Right, I must have used them all up. What's the dumbest thing you ever did? I'm guessing the phone's rang while she's ironing and she's burned her ear.
What is the dumbest thing you ever did?
I once bought this outfit and I posted on Instagram #newoutfit. What I didn't realize is that I posted in the same exact outfit that I bought a few months earlier. People thought I was lying, but I just forgot that I bought the same outfit. People still bring it up in the comments to this day.
What is your biggest regret?
I once turned down a modeling job because I would have had to go to Milan for 4 weeks. I was in high school at the time, so I might have had to repeat a year. In hindsight, it was a very famous photographer, so it would have helped my modeling career. I should have gone.
Describe a typical day in your life.
My days are really busy. My trainer wakes me up at 8, then I hit the gym for 2 hours. I head downstairs to get breakfast. Then I take a shower, get my hair and makeup done. Then I get dressed. And I take my first selfie of the day. Then I talk to my agent and she tells me what photo shoots I have or other obligations. On the rare days that I'm not that busy, I get to come on things like this show.
What is your favorite holiday?
Oh, I think she said, didn't she? Yeah, but,
My birthday falls
No.
on Christmas, so I get double presents every year.
that's bullshit. That's not what happens. Um,
What's your most unusual pet peeve?
Pet peeve. When my chihuahua poops in my purse. I carry her around everywhere in my bag. I wish they made, like, a harness so I can carry her around like a purse. And then they had pockets, so I wouldn't need another purse at all.
oh,
What is the dumbest thing you ever did?
Dumbest thing I ever did. How do I choose just one? Okay. I was camping outside a store waiting to buy a game console. So it was going to be released, and I wanted to get there early. I wanted to make sure that
she sneaked in the day before and slept in there.
I set
Let me
up a
guess.
tent. I was going to sleep outside the store. I was there for 28 hours in my tent. The night before the store opened, when they were going to sell the console, it was go time. I went to sleep in my tent, had my phone with me. I didn't have any way to charge my phone, and my alarm didn't go off in the morning because my phone ran out of juice. I woke up 3 hours after the store opened, and I did not get the console. I slept in a tent on a sidewalk, got back problems from it, for what ended up being no reason whatsoever.
What is the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
I try not to betray friends, but okay. I spoiled Avengers Infinity War for several of my friends and coworkers. So, opening night, I saw
quite like
twice.
this guy, though.
I got my tickets in advance for 2 showings right in a row, back to back. I was at the theater for like 6 hours just downloading Infinity War, and it was awesome. But I'm like, okay, Friday, maybe people haven't seen it yet. Over the weekend, I saw it 2 more times. I go into work Monday. I assume that everyone has seen it. It's a phenomenon. It's like the movie grossed like $2 billion. I don't know how much everyone saw it. I assume they all saw it opening weekend. And I started going on about the people we lost, the Avengers we lost, the snap. I really spoiled that movie for a lot of people.
He's really descriptive, this guy. His answers as well.
And if you're watching, let me just say once again, I am so sorry. I promise you, I am now keeping it spoiler-free.
What question should I ask him? I thought we'd asked him that, and oh no, that was the film he was describing. Right, let's ask him what
If you
superpower
could
he'd
have
have.
any superpower, what would you choose?
Any superpower? You know, I'd have to go with Mr. Mixelplix's magic.
Who?
Might be a deep cut for some people. He's great. He's an imp from the fifth dimension, DC Comics, and he's part of the Rogues Gallery of Superman. And if you can mess with Superman, you've got some powers. And I just like that he's wily and weird. But his one weakness is he can wind up in prison in the fifth dimension if he says his own name backwards.
What a pisser.
But come to think of it, I've never said my own name backwards, so yeah, should be fine. Yeah, let's definitely go with Mixelplix.
See what he's scared of.
What's your biggest fear?
Okay, you know, my biggest fear, and this might be uncommon, but
Little Perry.
am afraid of things that can't really happen, or things that are like an optical illusion but aren't possible in real life. So for example, M.C. Escher paintings, like a staircase that starts nowhere and leads to nowhere, and walls and architecture that are not possible in real life, or opening a door and a room is upside down, or just objects that move through space and do not abide by the laws of physics. Because I'm a logical person, I'm trying to wrap my head around these things, and because I can't get a toehold in logic into how that setup is occurring, I lose my bearings. And that is my biggest fear.
Losing your bearings.
What do you do for a living?
I'm going to ask that you reserve judgment when I tell you that
Oh
I am
no.
IRS.
You're
Now, I know a lot of
fucking
people think
definitely
that
not
we
getting the
are
money.
inherently evil,
Dude,
that we
you was
are
winning.
monsters coming to take
You
your
was
money.
winning me
No,
around,
okay?
and now
We're
you
not evil. We're
fucking
not
blown
going
it.
around trying to harass people. We don't want to screw over the little guy. And here's the thing. If you make an honest mistake on your taxes,
What a shame.
we will send you a notice about it and ask you to settle the difference. Or if we find that you didn't include a form, a W-2 or something, send it to us. We're good. Now, if you are some rich person who's intentionally trying to game the system for your personal gain, then that might be an issue. Those are the people that get audited. The big muckety-mucks who are who are just greedy. Then we will come after you.
Shit. Shit. What was your childhood dream? It's probably to be a milk monitor or a hall monitor. Ugh. Right, well, he was winning me round, but he's fucking blown it now. So, it's, for me, it's between this lady here and this lady here. This poor cow, she can't even afford milk. So I think we're going to have to give her the $1 million. she seems like she'll do well anyway, you know what I mean? She's up at 8 a.m. It's all go on Instagram and selfies and yeah. He seems to be happy to go to work forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. We can't rule him out yet. But yeah, for me so far it's going to be either this red-headed lady or this red-headed lady.
What is your proudest accomplishment?
I organized a demonstration to save a park, and it worked. They were going to level the place and build a distribution center. We had people protesting at the site for 3 weeks straight and got over 1,000 names on the petition. They ended up building the distribution center on the site of a nearby abandoned mall instead, so we didn't lose any jobs or anything. It was a complete win.
Well, that's a good thing.
What's your happiest memory?
That's easy. First time I went to Burning Man. It wasn't that I loved Burning Man. Back then, I worked myself to death at my office job. I only averaged maybe 50 hours per week, but the stress, it
Only? Fucking
stayed
hell.
with me all the time, so it felt like 100. Burning Man was the very first vacation I ever took. Once I got to feel what it was like to be free from work for multiple days straight, it changed my life. I stopped working a corporate job, stopped obsessing over money, and now I'm finally happy.
So wouldn't it be funny if a woman who doesn't think about money, who doesn't obsess about money, that money comes to her via $1 million?
What's your most unusual pet peeve?
It drives me crazy when people throw away plastic bottles with the cap screwed on. I understand that people are busy and can't always
thought
do much
you
for the
wanted us to do
environment,
that.
but all they have to do in this case is not screw the cap back on. If they put the cap
But
on,
Keir Starmer's
it's
just
there.
passed a law that
It
makes
out in the landfill.
sure that the bottle
Leave the cap
lid
off,
is
and the
stuck
bottle
to the
will collapse
bottle.
and will take up way less space. It literally takes less than no effort.
Oh, you need to have a word with Starmer. Someone needs to have a fucking word with Starmer. I know that. What's your most unusual talent?
What is your most unusual talent?
I know how to survive in the wilderness.
Cool.
I can tell what's edible. I can build a shelter and a fire. I can clean water so it's safe to drink.
You're good
Just
at finding shrooms.
survival skills in general. I don't like being dependent on money or on society, so I learned how to get by on my own.
Describe a typical day in your life.
I live in my van now by choice. When I wake up, I usually drive to the gym so I can work out and get a shower. After breakfast, I usually work one of those food delivery apps for about an hour.
See,
I can't stand a normal job, but I can handle those apps in small doses. Once I'm done, I relax for the rest of the day. I go to the beach a lot. Every day feels like a day
Excuse me.
off because I don't have a regular day job or a boss to deal with. It's pretty great, to be honest.
so she's getting by doing Deliveroo and living in the van. If you could have any job, though, what would it be? Oh, bollocks. So, there you... Right, I'm trying... This sad music. They're taking piss, aren't they? Poor cow. She can't afford milk.
What's your happiest memory?
Well, that's a no-brainer. My happiest memory is the day my beautiful daughter Mallory was born.
Aww.
I had her in the hospital and everything. I mean, I was already in the hospital because I'd been bitten by a raccoon.
Of course you had.
And I suppose it would have been easier if I'd had a doctor present, but I got stuck in an elevator on the way to the maternity floor. There I was, with the raccoon I brought with me to get tested for the rabies. It got loose and I had to fend that off for a while. Even so, out Mallory came and life was perfect.
Describe a typical day in your life.
Describe a typical day in your life.
A typical day in my life is searching for my missing daughter Mallory, and
Oh, bloody hell.
you know, really,
I don't know,
it is
the
one of the
raccoon pissed
big
off with it.
benefits to being homeless and unemployed is that I have no ties. I've nothing holding me back and stopping me from hitchhiking out there, getting on the road.
Where's Mallory?
To the last town that I've heard that she was in. You know, when I get to the town, usually I find out that she's just left there suddenly. So I'll search for a soup kitchen or a dumpster, you know, get something nice to eat, and then maybe a place to shelter until I hit the road again the next morning.
I think that this woman is bullshitting and laying it on a little bit thick. Oh, I can't afford milk. I don't know where the fuck my daughter's gone. Oh, there was a raccoon at the birth as well. I think she's telling tall tales in order to win this $1 million. I'm starting to see through her. Let's see what she does for a living. If she says a spy or anything like that.
What do you do for a living?
Well, I sold furniture for a while. Then I ran out of furniture. Then I sold shoes for a while. Ran into a similar problem. Now I'm unemployed.
So you sold your furniture and your shoes.
What's the most serious law you've ever broken?
International piracy law. When I was lost at sea one time, I thought all was lost. But a pirate ship came by and actually rescued me. Now, you've heard bad things about pirates, and so had I, but they could not have been nicer. They gave me a job.
Yeah, she's off her tits, this lady.
I keep when I was there, and everything was going great until they got superstitious. They are superstitious, so they thought for some reason it might be bad luck that I was on board with them. So they were
Like an
just
albatross.
about to drop me off when we got raided by a Russian Navy ship.
Isn't it always the way?
All in a Russian jail for 5 years for piracy.
Okay.
What's your biggest regret?
Well, that's easy. That would be the fishing trip I took my daughter Mallory on 20 years ago. Well, obviously I couldn't afford a boat. So we borrowed 2 floating pool chairs and off we went out into the ocean. It was a beautiful day. Unfortunately, I got caught in an undercurrent and I was swept off to a desert island. I saw she made it back to shore. It took me so long to get off the desert island that by the time I got home, she'd moved on, and I've not been able to find her since.
That's the end of this round. We'll soon find out who will be going home after this message.
I think we know.
Today's episode is brought to you by OneSock.com. Does it always seem like you have an odd number of socks for some reason? OneSock.com lets you buy one individual sock so you can finally even things out.
What a brilliant idea.
OneSock.com. Use offer code TRUTH, and they'll include a second sock absolutely free.
That's good.
Now it's time for the audience to vote. Please enter the selection of the contestant you think should be going home.
I think we'll send fucking nutcase on. Sorry, Claire.
The votes are in. The audience has voted to send home Claire. Oh, I am so sorry, Claire.
Oh, that's okay. Thanks so much for having me. It's just been so exciting to be here, and I've never won anything, so I didn't expect to win today anyway, but I'm just glad I could take.
I feel tight now.
Let's begin round
Perfectly
3.
balanced as all things should be, trophy earned. I've nothing against this guy, but he's just not doing anything for me. Yeah, I like this guy until he mentioned he was a tax auditor. That's unforgivable. You know, there's just some things you can't overlook. But, you know, he was a strong contender. No complaints from this lady so far. I can't disagree with any of her answers. She's been very upfront. She seems very honest. And the same with her. Like I said, little vain, but, you know, at least she's honest. Let's see if this guy can win us round. What's the dumbest thing you ever did?
You ever did?
Yeah, so I was the toughest kid in my high school, right? Everybody knew that about me. There was this guy, though. He was 6'8", freakishly tall, you know, big guy. Everyone was like, oh, you know, he's tough. Like, oh, he could take you. I hated that. What, you're tall, so that gives you grit? Bullshit. So, plus the guy, he was in honors classes. He must have been a nerd. No way he could take me. One day, it got to me. I called him out in the hallway. I egged him on. He didn't want to fight. I said, let's go. Not only did he beat my ass, but he beat it so badly. It was just, I was bruising for days, man. Best part is, though, we became best friends, and yeah, the rest is history. I don't know, I picked a fight with a giant, got my ass beat. That was stupid. Yeah, that was stupid.
Well, humbling. That's a good quality, Dick. What's your biggest regret?
What is your biggest regret?
Marrying my high school sweetheart. My ex-wife. Ex-wife. No more. No thank you. Yeah, we were miserable. And now I pay alimony every month.
What is your most controversial or unpopular opinion?
I think more people should ride motorcycles. Motorcycles are sweet, dude. Like, oh, people like their hybrid cars, they only get 50 miles per gallon. Motorcycles get that kind of mileage, and they're cool, and no traffic, and they cost like a fraction of the price of a car. $5 grand for a bike, and that's a good one, dude. Yeah, bikes are sweet. Easy to find parking, too. Wherever, whenever.
Let's see what he would do with the money. And if he's going to live for an eternity, he's going to need some money.
What would you do with the money?
Well, my ex-wife would probably get most of it. She's supposed to get half my income, but the judge hates me, so she always gets the bigger half. But if I got money, I'd pay off my credit cards, finish paying off my bike, and buy Finally have some money in the bank for once. That'd be nice.
Let's ask the trolley question again, because I'm still confused by it myself.
You're the conductor on a runaway trolley.
Okay.
There are 5 people ahead of you.
A trolley like in a
cannot
supermarket.
Get off the tracks in time. If you continue forward, you will run over and kill all 5. You cannot stop the trolley, but you can change to an alternate track where there is only
Do you mean a
one person
tram?
on it. If you decide to change tracks,
Trolley's
5
something you
people on
put
the
your
first
shopping
track
in.
will live, but the one person on the alternate track will be run over and die. Do you change tracks?
Wait, I'm a trolley
I
conductor?
still don't know what it
for a
is.
living?
I just
How did I
can't pay
end up doing
attention.
that to make ends meet? I mean, geez, forget the people on the tracks. If I ever sank so low I'm driving a trolley, I'd probably jump in front of it just to end my miserable life. Jeez.
Right, when you say trolley, what do you mean? Is it a buzz? Is that what Americans call a buzz? Or a tram? I'm thinking it's a tram. Like a little train type buzz thing. Oh,
You're the conductor on a runaway trolley. There are 5
she's gonna
people
be as
ahead of
fucking
you
confused
on
as
the
I
tracks
am.
who do not have time to get off the tracks. If you continue forward, you will run over
I'm the
all
male
5
version of a
and
dumb
you will
blonde.
die. You cannot stop the trolley,
brown hair.
but you can change to an alternate track where there is only one person on it. If you choose to change tracks, the 5 people on the first track will live, but the one person on the alternate track will be run over and die. Do you change tracks?
I don't
Oh, it's a
know
difficult one,
anything
isn't it?
about trolleys, but if I had a job driving one, I'm sure that they would teach me how to handle that situation in trolley school.
What is your most unusual talent?
I'm a really good cook. If I had to live in the old days where people had to cook their own meals, I could buy just fine.
If you were going to be stranded on an island with one person of your choosing, who would it be?
I don't have the skills to survive on an island, so it would probably have to be some guy who can take care of me. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anyone, but I'm sure if I posted on Instagram, I would have some very qualified volunteers.
What do you do for a living?
I'm an Instagram model. I still live with my parents, but I can move out if I wanted to. Our house is so big that I feel like it would be a waste to move out. We have so many empty rooms, I'm not even sure if I've seen them all.
Right, she doesn't need the money. She's out.
What is your biggest fear?
Getting a pimple.
Oh,
I've known people who have
that's
had one and
awful.
they say it's awful. That's why I do a strict regimen
She said
of
it.
cleansing, toning, and moisturizing to make sure I don't get one. I heard it can happen to anyone.
I don't even want to ask another question. Oh, luckily we've run out. See, he let me down. He let me down.
What is your most embarrassing guilty pleasure?
Yeah, my most embarrassing guilty pleasure. I like to go back and rewatch the cartoons from my childhood. I don't do it all the time, but when I think of one and I haven't seen it in a while,
I do that.
I'll look it up, I'll see where it's streaming or where I can find it, and then I will watch,
You watch
the
it
crap out of
for
it
like,
from
oh, I won't
front
watch
to
the crap
back,
out of it. I just watch
and
it and I go, ah, yeah.
relive my childhood
And then
a
I
little
think,
bit.
why the fuck did I watch this?
Maybe take out some of my old action figures. Yeah, that is an embarrassing guilty pleasure.
What's your most unusual talent?
I'd say my most unusual talent is that I can solve a Rubik's Cube in under 2 minutes. And, it's not a world record or anything, but it's pretty good. I'll break it out sometimes, maybe if I want to impress a date, and then I'll say, now you try. Actually, that has had the opposite effect, though, because they felt that I was rubbing it in their face that I was so good at it. And then I try to tell them that I wasn't trying to brag. I'm good at making things awkward, too. That's a pretty good talent of mine as well. But yeah, I'll stick with the Rubik's Cube.
What is your most unusual pet peeve?
My most unusual pet peeve would be when I'm watching either a superhero show or a movie or maybe something about a crime fighter, they're always using their superpowers. They are always fighting crime. Time out. Let's see a little bit of the rest of their day-to-day. Because in real life, like if you're, like let's say your job is you're in the FBI. You're not always in the FBI. You go home and you're with your wife and kids, or you go to the movies, or you eat a burrito. I want to see that. Batman. Okay, you're fighting crime at night, usually. What about during the day? What about when you have to go into Wayne Enterprises? Let's see a whole Batman movie that's just about Bruce Wayne in board meetings, signing checks, looking over the budget.
Nobody wants to watch that.
Like,
Nobody wants to see Superman taking a shit.
He's a lot of checks to sign. That could be a whole. How about Dark Knight rises from bed and goes into work?
Actually,
That's what I'm interested in.
Superman taking a shit,
That
you would
they're
be.
only
Is he going to break the
superhero
pot?
around. Yes, that's part of it.
Would it flush first
Dimensional
time?
picture. Like,
No, I'm thinking
Michael
of it. There's all kinds of
Knight
questions.
And Kit. Kit is a talking car, and that's pretty cool. I want to see Kit, but Michael Knight has to take Kit in for an oil change sometime. Kit has to go into the shop, get the transmission fixed. That episode, Michael Knight takes the bus to solve crime.
What is your proudest accomplishment?
My proudest accomplishment was getting a perfect score on my SATs in the 8th grade. So I got a 1600. It did take me 3 tries. Almost had it on the second try, but took it again. And I guess you could say third time's the charm.
If you were going to be stranded on an island with one person of your choosing, who would it be?
If I was going to be stranded on a desert island with one person, who would I pick? It's not an easy question. I have 7 billion choices. Okay. Yep. So, A lot of people are probably going to pick someone who's like really attractive or like a great conversationalist, very entertaining. I'm going to pick Vladimir Putin. And it's not because I'm a fan, but if I was on that island and Putin just magically appears there, that means I've taken the biggest despot in the world, the most evil person walking the earth today, and he's out of circulation. I don't think in good conscience.
Dude, you could just take Keir Starmer.
It's going to do so much good for so many people. And then it's me, it's him, and if he wants to annex something, he'd have to annex my supply of coconuts. That's it. The people of Ukraine are okay. No World War III. No regrets. It's Putin. Let's go.
So have you asked them all now?
What is the most serious law you have ever broken?
I smoked a lot of weed in states where it wasn't legal yet. I guess I've technically sold it too, which would be a more serious crime. I was never a drug dealer, but if I bought a bunch and then some of my friends bought off of me, I guess that's technically selling drugs, even if I'm not charging them a markup. In terms of legal penalties, that would be the most serious.
No, you're just selling herbs.
Drug-related charges are ridiculous in this country.
Have you ever cheated on anyone?
Yes and no. No, not really. I don't believe in monogamy. I would never have a one-on-one relationship. I do mess around with multiple partners.
Oof.
They all know that we're in an open relationship, so it's not cheating. They're all allowed to have multiple partners too, and most of them do. Even saying that they're allowed to have multiple partners sounds wrong to me. I just don't understand monogamy. How can you tell another person they aren't allowed to do things that make them happy? That just seems...
All sounds a bit
so
icky.
confusing to me. I could never do that to someone, or let someone do that to me.
What is the dumbest thing you ever did?
We heard they were going to cut down a huge area of forest, so about 20 of us went out there the night before to protest. We chained ourselves to trees so they'd have to delay their logging until they could get rid of us. Only we were in the wrong place. They were logging about a half a mile away, so no one knew we were there for almost a week. By the time someone found us, we were out of food and water, and we thought we were gonna die. The guy who found us went to ask the loggers for help, and they had to cut down the trees we were chained to in order to free us. All we accomplished was getting an extra 20 trees cut down and almost dying in the process.
What is your biggest regret?
Working normal jobs and living a normal life as long as I did. I was always miserable when I was working. Even when I was off the clock, I was miserable. So I got out of the rat race a few years ago, and I've never been happier.
What is your most embarrassing memory?
I came across a small group of people protesting outside of
Okay, now, not again.
and I got excited and I called all of my friends, and we all joined in to show our support. Chemical plants are always terrible for the environment, so we were more than happy to be a part of the protest. But as it turned out, it wasn't a protest at all. It was a picket line. The plant was temporarily shut down while all the workers were on strike, and all of us extra people showing up helped convince management to give in to their demands and end the strike. We were trying to get the place shut down, but instead we got them to reopen it earlier than they otherwise would have. So, yeah.
That's the end of this round. We'll soon find out who will be going home after this message from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by placebos. Are you a hypochondriac? Ask your doctor if placebos are right for you. Now it's time for the audience to vote. Please enter the selection of the contestant you think should be going home.
Right. She didn't really need it. I'm sorry, Sam, but the tax auditor and you're just going to have to go, son. I'm sorry.
The votes are in. The audience has voted to send home Sam.
You know, coming in, I knew I had a 1 in 6 chance. Not a bad chance, but not perfect. So, I'm not surprised I have to go home.
Let's start round 4.
Curses what ails you, trophy earned. Cures what ails you, trophy earned.
What is your most embarrassing guilty pleasure?
I love bad movies. You know, movies that are so bad that then they're good. Because it's just like so entertaining how bad they are. Like Sharknado. That shit sucks, but it's good, you know? Or like, what does the fox say? Oh, that's a song, but you know, it's so bad that I like that song, you know? Stuff like that. Yeah. Bad things become good things. For me.
I can kind of get that.
What is your favorite holiday?
Well, when I was growing up, it was Christmas. Hands down. Probably every kid's favorite holiday growing up. But now it's Thanksgiving, for sure. You know, day off from work, food, lots of good food, and football. My 3 favorite things.
What's your most unusual talent?
I could change my own oil. I could also fix a flat.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people used to know how to do that stuff. That was like common knowledge. But nowadays, no one knows how to do jack shit. Everyone's like relying on others or the internet, or just people don't know how to do stuff. No one can do common guy stuff or girl stuff, whatever, anymore. I don't know. Everyone's so sheltered.
What is your happiest memory?
Watching the Philadelphia Eagles beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I've been an Eagles fan my entire life, and I was beginning to think I'd never see them win a Super Bowl, okay? Not only did they win, but they won in a shootout against Tom Brady in a game that had more offensive yards than any other game in history, even regular season games, in history. And they did it with their backup quarterback. It was amazing.
What were you like as a child?
I was just like every other kid. I played with toys. I watched cartoons. I mean, what else would you expect me to say to that?
What is your most controversial or unpopular opinion?
I think more people should ride motorcycles. Motorcycles are sweet, dude. Like, oh, people like their hybrid cars, they only get 50 miles per gallon. Motorcycles get that kind of mileage.
What is the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
I sorta stole someone's boyfriend once. Well, it wasn't her boyfriend. My friend Brooke had a really big crush on this musician, and I told her to DM him, but she was too nervous to, so I DM'd him for her. He wasn't interested in her, so he ended up asking me out, and we dated for a bit. I can tell it made my friend a little uncomfortable, so that was one of the reasons why I broke up with him.
What's your happiest memory?
When I was 8 years old, my parents bought me my first pony. They made sure it was a surprise.
This
until
girl's
I had
definitely
been
gonna get the
almost 10 years
Pokemon.
old. Then I went outside, and there she was, with a big bow. It was extra surprising because it wasn't even my birthday.
What's the most serious law you've ever broken?
I used to have steaks flown in from this place that I love in France. I stopped when I found out it was illegal to import meats.
Spelled
I don't know how serious of a
steaks
crime
wrong.
that is, but I'm glad I never found out the hard way.
What is your most embarrassing guilty pleasure?
Prima Cinema. It's this service where you can watch a new movie at home the day it's released in theaters. I love watching movies. And I have a home theater, so why wouldn't I use it?
What is your most controversial or unpopular opinion?
Okay. There's this James Bond movie called The World Is Not Enough, where Denise Richards plays a physicist. Everyone
Can't
was making
stand
fun of
Bond
it, saying that
films.
she did a terrible job and that it was sexist of them to cast her. Here's the thing. She did fine. If she was more plain looking, I guarantee nobody would have said anything. The people who are saying that it was sexist are the sexist ones. They don't believe that a woman can be hot and smart enough to be a scientist. And that's the most sexist thing you can do.
She's got a point. So it looks like it's going to be between this lady here, the hippie, or this fellow here for me.
What's the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
I gave a lot of my friends.
Ugh.
In fairness, some of them probably had it already. We're all very open about our sexuality. That's just the type of people I vibe with.
I think if we give her $1 million, she'll spend on having a big orgy.
What is your most embarrassing guilty pleasure?
Walking naked through the woods.
Okay, now.
I'm much more comfortable around trees and flowers than I am around people.
What would you
Let's just
do
ask her straight out.
Pharmaceutical companies test drugs on puppies and other small animals all the time, then just abandon them when they're done. Someone needs to do something about it. If I win, I plan on using the money to open a rehab center so I can help those poor puppies recover and live normal lives.
I can't argue with that, can I? So she's going to make a puppy sanctuary.
What was your childhood dream?
to be a corporate executive, live in a big house, and make a 6-figure salary. When I got older, I realized that a job like that would take up almost all my free time, and then taking care of a house of that size would take up the little bit of time I had left. Now that dream sounds like a nightmare to me.
If you could have any superpower, what would you choose?
Chlorokinesis.
What's that?
It's the power Swamp Thing has that lets him be one with plant life. I'd love to be able to communicate with nature on its own level. Plus, if I had a power like that, I'd really be able to help save the planet.
That's the end of
Yeah,
this
but you'd
round.
end up giving it fucking
Soon we'll
chlamydia.
find out who will be going home after this message from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by the letter K.
Okay, now
Now
what is
it's
this,
time
Sesame
for the
Street?
audience to vote. Please enter the selection of the contestant you think should be going home.
Alexis, there's no doubt you're going
The
home.
votes are in. The audience has voted to send home Alexis.
That's okay. This was fun. And isn't that the point of
And
the
she's
game
took
show?
it well. She's not too bad.
It's now time for our final
I mean,
round.
she's just rich. I mean, but so. I mean, she doesn't really need the million, and she's took it well. She was a good contestant. She was a good contender, but she didn't need it, and that's the only reason she's out of it. So we'll carry on.
What is your proudest accomplishment?
I broke so many school records when I played high school football that I couldn't even name them all. I knew I wasn't good enough to go pro, but I'm willing to bet that a lot of those records still stand today.
What's your most unusual pet peeve?
I can't stand it when people are FaceTiming or like on speakerphone around me, like as if I'm not there, stomping around with their big loud conversation, like you're holding me hostage to your conversation. I don't give a shit. Go somewhere else. What happened to, phones that you had to hold up to your ear so I didn't have to listen to you? That shit drives me crazy.
Have you ever cheated on anyone?
Have I ever cheated? In my entire life, like cheated? Of course I have. Who hasn't? I mean, everyone cheats. I've been cheated on by girls. I've cheated on girls. I mean, that's just life, man. Everyone cheats.
What is the worst way you've betrayed a friend?
Oh man, dude. For years, my friend John used to sell my friend Keith weed, but it wasn't weed, it was kale. Like, he would sell him kale instead of weed. And,
But he couldn't tell.
Yeah, Keith didn't know. Like, for years, I was watching Keith, like, pack bongs with kale, and that wasn't working, so then he would, like, make kale brownies, and he had no idea. And,
What a
yeah,
tool.
I should have told him, but it was just too funny.
What would you do with the money?
Oh, no.
Well, my ex-wife would probably get most of it. She's supposed to get half my...
What is your most embarrassing memory?
Man, I once tried dating 2 girls in the same night, and that did not go well. I was out with this one girl, and we were having a great time, and then I drove her home. I went inside, we fooled around a little bit, that was fun. And yeah, I said goodbye, went to this bar, and I met this other chick, and she was digging me, and I was digging her, and yeah, we left. I took her home, and it's the same home. Like, they're roommates, dude. So I'm like, okay, Joe, don't push your luck. Let's go home. But no, man, I don't know. I thought, like, maybe the first girl would be sleeping, or, like, best case, who knows, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I went inside, and sure enough, the first girl's sitting there, like, watching TV. These girls laid it on me. They got up, they yelled at me. I'm like, I'm sorry, you're beautiful, both of you. Yeah, that sucked. That was, not my finest hour. Yikes.
What would you do with the money?
Well, my ex-wife would probably get most of it.
You're the conductor on a runaway trolley. There are 5 people ahead of you on the tracks who cannot get off the tracks in time. If you continue forward, you will run over and kill all 5 of them. You cannot stop the trolley, but you can change to an alternate track where there is only 1 person on it. If you decide to change tracks, the 5 people on the first track will live, but the 1 person on the alternate track will be run over and die.
What would you choose?
I change tracks and hit the 1 person.
Seems logical.
The only argument I can see for staying on the current track is that I might feel guilty if I actively made a decision that killed 1 person. But 1 person dying and me feeling guilty about it certainly isn't as bad as 5 people dying.
What were you like as a child?
I was a straight A student. I had perfect attendance and all that. It wasn't until I became an adult that I realized how conforming to society's standards was actually a bad thing. If I could go back and do it again, I'd focus more on enjoying my childhood.
If you were going to be stranded on an island with 1 person of your choosing, who would it be?
Fucking Ron Jeremy by the sounds of it.
I know the standard answer is to name someone really hot who you want to sleep with, but that's actually pretty cruel. You're basically condemning the person you picked to be stranded on a deserted island. That's a pretty awful thing to do to someone. I'd pick no one. I'd be stuck on the island by myself.
Fair dues.
That's a lie.
Oh,
This is embarrassing. I forgot I was
no.
hooked up to a lie detector.
I forgot to.
I
I
picked
forgot.
Chris Hemsworth. Sorry, Chris.
If you could have any job, what would it be?
I don't want any job. The most valuable thing I have is my free time, and I am not willing to sell that time for an hourly wage.
What is your biggest fear?
Global warming and pollution. Humans are killing this planet. Nature doesn't fight back, so humans are the only ones who can save the planet, but we're the ones it needs saving from. So the Earth
Nature
is
always
pretty
fights
much doomed.
back.
That's the end of this round. We'll soon find out who will be going home after this message from our sponsor. Today's episode is brought to you by Vegas Tales, the full-motion video game from the makers of Truth. A wealthy resort owner is dying and needs you to help decide who should inherit his estate. You'll be interviewing some over-the-top characters and helping choose who will become extremely wealthy. Be careful, as there may be more to some than meets the eye. Vegas Tales is available now on your favorite gaming platform.
We'll have to look into that.
Now it's time for the audience to vote. Please enter the selection of the contestant you think should be going home.
Oh, here we go. Now, Joe doesn't have much aspirations for the money. He has got alimony to pay. Maybe giving him the money would inspire him to, I don't know, maybe open up his own little garage where he can tinker away on bikes and such. She keeps saying she doesn't want money. She's not asked about the money. And she has the ability to make money because she's got the qualification. She could go back and make some money if she wanted the money. But then there's the puppy farm. No. But then she did lie. And she was the only person who was called out in this whole lie detector thing for lying. So, it's got to be bros before hoes. I'm going to pick Joe, I'm sorry. Oh no, Joe's not going home. Autumn, sorry.
The votes are in. The $1 million
Vegas Tales
prize
trophy
is
earned.
going to Joe.
Seriously?
Well done, Joe.
I won?
Yeah, you won, man.
Sweet. So how does that work? Do I get like a big check? One of the, those big checks? Is that money? Like you can take those to the bank? You guys probably know
No,
what you're doing.
that's just for photos. Joe quit his job so he could live off the prize money. He spent it all in less than fucking 3. Come on, Joe! He spent it all less than 3 years and is now broke once again. He was able to get his old job driving a forklift. His life hasn't changed at all. Oh, bollocks! Should have gone with the puppy farm after all. Or maybe we should have found out more about that Scottish crazy lady. Maybe she wasn't crazy. Oh well, thanks for watching. Bye.